Smack Dab's track number 3 off of Telecaster, and it's absolutely one of my favorite songs. I love the riff, and of course the title. Obviously, there's a story behind that. The riff was inspired by an old song by Armored Saint. Armored Saint is a band that, I don't know, if you're a metal fan, you probably heard of them. I had a unique introduction to Armored Saint. My friend Paul Hickner and I, we just kind of prided ourselves in finding bands in out-of-the-way places and trying to find good metal talent that wasn't already mainstream. I don't know, that just was something we enjoyed doing. And so we find this band, Armored Saint, which to my knowledge, I mean, a lot of people have heard of them now, but at that point, they were still like brand new. We didn't know anybody else who knew about them, and so we were excited, and this album was called The March of the Saint. We brought it home, we put it on, loved the whole album, it jammed, it rocked. And then it turns out that a couple months later, Metallica came to Indianapolis on the Ride the Lightning tour. So this was early Cliff Burton days. So they came, everybody was all fired up about Metallica at that point, of course, if you're a metal fan. And then Wasp, they were coming with Metallica on their debut album, and Armored Saint. So it was like this awesome show that I will never forget. In this little bitty club called the Sherwood, there's no way there were more than 300 people in this place, but it was just an awesome show with a stage that was relatively lower. Everybody was real respectful of the bands, but we could get right up on the stage, and it was just awesome. And so anyway, they played, of course, my favorite song from that album, which was "Can You Deliver?" And it just rocks. If you haven't heard Armored Saint, Can You Deliver, look it up. It's C-A-N and then the letter U and then the word deliver. Anyway, the riff for Can You Deliver is pretty obvious when you listen to Smack Dab that the song Can You Deliver inspired that riff. But then the title, Smack Dab, it's literally just smack dab, just like bam. That is how God got a hold of my life. And this song, it's the story in snapshot form of my growing up through my teenage years and how God just grabbed hold of me smack dab right in the middle of life, and the Holy Spirit brought me to my knees. I'm so glad He did. It was the greatest act of love I've ever experienced, and He just showed me there's so much more to life than just messing around, which is what the chorus says. And I surrendered my life to God, and it was awesome. It's really wild. I think God's worked like that a lot of times in my life, where it seems like little pieces of the chain, or links in the chain, kind of little experience. There's one over here and one over here, and then a few years later I'll experience this or that, or I'll read something, or I'll see something, or I'll hear something. And all these little experiences have an influence on me. But then there's this watershed smack dab event that just brings it all together and cumulatively just kind of hits you with the full force of that whole realization all at once. That's how my conversion happened. I had tons of people and conversations and experiences, including being raised in the church and all kind of things, that brought me to that point. Here's my testimony in just a nutshell. I quit going to church when I was about 15 or 16 because I believed in Jesus. I always believed in God. I always knew that God was real. But I got tired of showing up in church on Sunday morning with a hangover because I was partying, and I didn't want to live for Jesus, and I felt like a total hypocrite. The church I went to, we took communion every Sunday, and because I was a believer in Jesus, man, I'd take communion. But I felt so stupid, like partying and doing all the stuff that went along with that lifestyle on Sunday night through Saturday night, and then showing up Sunday morning and doing the church thing, and it just really felt so ridiculous. But anyway, through a lot of those lifestyle choices, man, I led myself to a place of utter just crash and burn, and it was in that pit, that moment of despair, that smack dab, the Holy Spirit got a hold of me. Said there's more to life than just messing around. And that's what this song's about, man. Here it is, smack dab.